After a disappointing end to the 2023 season, the Philadelphia Eagles will go on to be Super Bowl champs in 2024. And today, we're going to be breaking down how last year played out for the Eagles, the massive coaching changes which occurred in the offseason, key pieces they added and lost, and dive into all the X's and O's so as to break down why the Lombardi Trophy will be going back to Philly in 2024. The 2023 season recap. The Eagles' 2023 season got off to a hot start, winning 10 of their first 11 games. However, things quickly began to go downhill as the regular season came to a close. While they faced some tough opponents through the final 6 weeks of the season, including the 49ers and Cowboys, there were also some softball games, including a matchup against the Cardinals and 2 games against the Giants. They were only able to pick up 1 win in their final 6 games of the regular season, looking like a completely different team that came in starting at the beginning of the year. Things didn't even improve in the playoffs, where they were upset in embarrassing fashion by the wild card round through the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a final score of 32-9. Despite the year ending on a sour note, there were some promising takeaways. They did have one of the best rushing offenses in the league, ranking 8th in rushing yards and 5th in rushing touchdowns. They even took the league by storm with a brotherly shove, a seemingly unstoppable quarterback sneak play that was almost guaranteed to pick up a first down in short yardage situations. However, arguably the biggest thing holding the Eagles back last season was their inability to stop the pass. Philadelphia was arguably the worst passing defense in the league, ranking 2nd to last in both yards and touchdowns allowed.
Coaching changes.
Due to the collapse through the second half of the year, Philadelphia moved on from both their defensive and offensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator Sean Desai had his play-calling duties stripped away midway through their losing skid. However, they ended up replacing him with a powerful coordinator in Vic Fangio. Fangio runs a base 3-4 defensive front, something that could greatly benefit the Eagles next season. And with them having a plethora of skilled pass rushers, having an extra player in the secondary to aid in stopping the pass may be just what they needed to get things back on track next season. Along with this, his scheme has led to elite production from his linebackers, with him coaching players like Patrick Willis and Roquan Smith, among many others. On the offensive side of the ball, while the Eagles had a strong run game, they greatly struggled through the air. Under former offensive coordinator Brian Johnson's offense, quarterback Jalen Hurts threw a career-high 15 interceptions, and his passer rating dropped from 101.5 in the 2022 season to 89.1 in the 2023 season. Philadelphia's front office ended up replacing Johnson with Kellen Moore, a former quarterback and offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys and Los Angeles Chargers. Through his short career as an offensive coordinator, Moore has done a great job at adapting his scheme to the players that he has while sticking to his core fundamentals. With the Eagles, there's a strong chance that the offense looks very different from this year prior. Moore will likely still heavily lean on the run game. However, his offensive calls outside zone runs that he will then use to set up play-action passing plays. Along with this, Moore is expected to take full advantage of the elite mobility of Hurts, making him a focal point in the run game, as well as new acquisition Saquon Barkley. Under his offense, this should be a return to form for Hurts after taking a bit of a step back in 2023.
Major acquisitions.
Another major beneficiary of the new offensive scheme is the Eagles' newest addition at running back, Saquon Barkley. When he's healthy, Barkley's one of the league's premier backs, an elite outside runner paired with a lethal weapon in the passing game. Now, despite losing Jason Kelce to retirement over the offseason, Philadelphia does still have one of the best offensive lines in the league and could lead to Barkley having a career year in his first season with the Eagles. The remainder of their top additions came on the defensive side of the ball. As previously mentioned, linebackers are an essential piece of Vic Fangio's defense, and as a result, the Eagles added former Pro Bowler Devin White. They also further beefed up their secondary through the re-signing of slot cornerback Avonte Maddox, along with bringing back safety C.J. Gardner after 1 year with the Lions. In the draft, the Eagles used their 2 first-round draft picks to acquire cornerback Quentin Mitchell and versatile defensive back Cooper DeJean. Philadelphia added to their already elite defensive line with the signing of defensive end Bryce Huff, who's coming off a 10 sacks with the New York Jets last year.
Major departures.
Many of the key signings of the Eagles made this offseason came as a result of players that they lost. While they were able to bring back CJ Gardner after a year in Detroit, they did end up losing safety Kevin Barn after joining the team mid-season. At the linebacker position, while they were able to add Devin White, they lost Hassan Reddick, who's coming off back-to-back Pro Bowl seasons. And along with Jason Kelsey, the Eagles also lost key veteran defensive tackle Fletcher Cox to retirement. So, the real big question is, why will the Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl in 2024? With all of the talent that the Eagles have on their roster, they are more than capable of winning it all this season. And along with that, the schemes that Fangio and Moore are bringing in as the team's new coordinators fit the team perfectly on paper. With only a couple of teams truly standing in Philadelphia's way in the NFC, 2024 will definitely be their year to win it all.